Where's the dollar yen headed following those BOJ interventions and the retest of 152? I'll share my thoughts in today's video, including where I think the DXY is headed, so you can trade those pairs like the Euro USD and the pound with confidence. Now, if you guys do want my help with your trading, be sure to check out the link at the top of this video. Click on that link, and you're going to be taken to a page where you can get 90% off VIP access. That's going to include lifetime access to the course I just launched, plus the Discord community, so real-time discussions on the forex market, crypto, commodities, and stocks. Plus, you're going to see my trades in real time and also get my setups. So trade ideas I have throughout the day, I post in there in real time. I think I've shared about 3 today already. So be sure to check out the link in the description of this video. If you are on the website, click on the link that says join VIP. Okay, so looking at the dollar yen, we have talked about all of these levels before, including 152. So looking here at the daily chart, you can see that going all the way back here to this high from right back here toward the end of 2022, we've got this level that built up as resistance. So we knew that this was going to be support for the dollar yen, and that's exactly where we saw the market retest here following those Bank of Japan interventions. Now, we've also talked about levels like 155.6 and 160.4. So these levels, you can see where this up here, a lot of people say when you have fundamental news, like intervention, like a central bank intervening, then these levels, technicals don't matter. However, look at how close this came to that level there, and look at 152, right? Right off of this level that we've talked about, 160.4 and 152. Now, the reason these matter, because if you go back here on this chart, depending on what chart you're on, if you don't have data going back to the 1990s, you're not going to know where these levels originate. So for that, we have to flip over to a chart that has the data, and you can clearly see if you go back here to 1990, so a very long time ago, you can see here that we do have the 155.6 level. It's this low right here and this high. Now we've also got 160.4, which really you could make the case that this level is a little bit lower here, okay, to include this other swing high. So right around 160.2, maybe 160.3. And if you do that, you can see where this level actually lines up exactly with that recent high. Okay, so somewhere down here in this area, you can see that's very close to that recent high. Okay, so for the dollar yen, what I think is next, okay, following the retest of 152, because obviously we've seen a nice bounce from here. And if you were able to get long down here at this resistance turn support, obviously from a risk reward perspective, that was the best area to get in. However, we did have the BOJ intervening here recently, so it was also relatively risky. Now with the market trading here at 155.6, what I think this is going to come down to for the dollar yen is where does this market close the day and of course the week as well, but where does this market close this week in relation to 155.6? Can we get the market reclaiming this on the daily and weekly charts up here in this area, in which case I think we're seeing a move back here toward the top of this wick, okay, this upper wick up here, really between 159 and 160. So in other words, if we do get the market trading up here, we probably see something like this here from the dollar yen to tag that open liquidity that was left behind following those BOJ interventions. Now, on the flip side though, you don't want to go buying the dollar yen while it's below 155.6. You can see where it's trading right around this level. And if you look at the intraday charts, this right here is telling you that this is the level to watch. If you look at something like the hourly, right, notice how the market is just kind of chopping around this level for quite some time. So this is telling you that 155.6 is in fact the level to watch. Now, another consideration for the dollar yen and really any major currency pair is going to be the DXY, the US dollar index. So we've talked about these levels previously as well. So we've got this 105 level, which was support back here, resistance through this area, and we got the retest here last week on Friday. Now the market wicked below it and retested this area around 104.5. However, it held last week above that, and we did get a retest here earlier this week. Now, the one requirement for this, though, like I mentioned recently, was, first of all, this daily close, okay, closing above this candle here. That's kind of step one, because if you'll notice, ever since this high back here, we have seen the market carve these lower highs, right? We have not gotten a daily close back above one of these highs until this candle right here. So that was really step one. Now, step two, and this is really what it comes down to for the dollar, in my opinion, is where does the DXY close in relation to these lows or these closing prices back there around 105.6. And you can even see this on the 4-hour time frame, although I would not trade this on the 4-hour. I would want to see a daily close above. You can see this here though, on the 4-hour time frame where it was support back here, okay, we got the breakdown and now the market is pressuring that area as resistance. So this is going to be critical for the DXY. Currently, this is resistance. So again, I don't think you want to go buying the dollar right now because technically the market is still below resistance. However, if we were to see the DXY start to reclaim this area on the daily and weekly charts, okay, so somewhere up here in this area, like I've talked about recently, get a daily close up here, then it would reclaim this previous range. This down here becomes a failed breakdown. And in my opinion, we're likely looking at a move back toward 106.5 and potentially the area around 107. So that, of course, would be dollar bullish. The only way the DXY turns bearish, at least in the short term, would be a close below this area around 105. But even then, it's not something I would short. I wouldn't go short the dollar just because, first of all, we do have an uptrend so far this year. And if we did get the close below 105, down here, there's really not enough room between 105 and 104.5 and also this channel to justify an entry. So overall, I still remain relatively bullish on the dollar. I have all year long, and that has played out relatively well because we have seen the market carve these higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so it's unclear right now. We don't have a signal yet from the dollar, from the DXY at least. It does need to reclaim these closing prices back here around 105.6 to turn higher. So this could matter for the dollar yen. Of course, a lot of this, though, that we've seen from these yen pairs comes down to the yen. The yen has just been incredibly weak, especially against the US dollar. So really, it's very simple. If the dollar yen can reclaim this level here at 155.6, then in my opinion, we're looking at a move back here toward the closing price just above 158 and potentially that area around 159 to 160. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notifications. Don't forget to join us in VIP and get the full VIP course. Get 90% off lifetime access. See the link in the description of this video, or if you're on the website, click on the join VIP link. That is a limited time offer. Trade well out there, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.